All right. Hello and welcome, everybody. This is going to be a quick one, 4 or 5 minutes. So just bear with me about the new Space Jam movie, how it's doing, how it compares to the old one, what excuses people are using for the low income compared to what it costs to make on the movie. Just listen to me, see what I found out, and let me know in the comments what you think. So LeBron James came out today and posted a tweet that said this: "Hi haters," and he posted a link to an article from a website called deadline.com, which posted an article with this title: "Space Jam, a new legacy steals ball away from Black Widow with 32 million opening. Best for family pick during pandemic." My opinion, Black Widow, Marvel, that's a family pick. But whatever. First of all, it's a hell of a misleading title, where the pandemic is almost over and the theaters have been opened up in huge cities, even like New York or whatever. I know they're not 100% capacity, but figure this: you can't give an excuse for LeBron James Space Jam that made $32 million because of the regulations of the COVID pandemic and that not more people were allowed to go to the movies. You know why? Because the weekend before, when Black Widow opened, Black Widow made $215 million. That COVID pandemic regulations did not stop Black Widow from making its money, okay? That's one thing. The title doesn't also mention that this was Black Widow's, like I said, second weekend already, not the first, second. Space Jam got released a week after the Black Widow for one reason: because it would have been completely destroyed compared to it on the same weekend. This is the biggest one here. James lost big to Jordan again. In its opening weekend 25 years ago, the original Space Jam made $27.5 million with ticket prices that cost about $4.25. I did my research. That's about the average price of a movie ticket in those days. So there was around 6.5 million people that saw the original Space Jam at the movies in the first opening weekend. How do I know that? I take $27.5 million that were made that weekend, divided by the price of the tickets, 4.25, gives me 6.5 million people. James, flop of a movie, made 32 million at ticket prices of about $9.16. Okay, so it made more money with more expensive tickets. That gives us, with the same calculation, 3.5 million people saw that movie. All right. I didn't do this, but I'm going to do it right now real quick for you, just so you know. Okay, let's do the Black Widow. The Black Widow made $215 million in the first weekend, divided by $9.16 per ticket, like we put here. So Black Widow was watched by 23.5 million people. So 23.5 million people were able to go to the movies to see the Black Widow the weekend before, and because of the regulations of COVID, not more people than 3.5 million were able to go to the movies and see Space Jam. That excuse doesn't work. So James is happy with 32 million opening weekend, comparing his movie to Black Widow, when Black Widow's, like I said, was already a second weekend. And Black Widow outperformed James' Space Jam by almost 7 times. It made almost 7 times the money. Also, James is happy that in its biggest weekend, because the first weekend of the movie is always the biggest, the movie made $32 million, but does not say what the movie cost to make. And when you search it up, it cost about $160 million to make. So the 32 million is just below even 1/5 of the cost of the movie. So from now, it's only going to get smaller. The anticipation and everything else is the biggest in the beginning, the first weekend, that's the most people. Now it's going to get smaller. So it looks like the movie won't even make back the money that it cost to make. Also, now, if you want to know, we look at the critics' scores. And the three biggest websites that they always show is IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, and Metacritic. IMDb gave the movie 4.1 stars out of 10. As far as I know, the original Space Jam was like 6.1 or 6.5. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 31% score. Garbage. Metacritic gave it a little higher, 38%. Okay, so now let's go to the first review, which is a featured review on the IMDb website for Space Jam: The New Legacy. IMDb top review says, "It's not funny, it's not clever, it's not interesting, it's not anything." And then it goes on. You can read it yourself. I'm going to keep it on the screen for a little bit. Even though LeBron is trying to save this movie in some sense because he stars in it, I personally think it would have been so much better for him to have his own movie instead of doing a crappy sequel to a classic played by the GOAT. And yes, as you can draw from that statement, I like Michael Jordan more than LeBron James. I think Michael Jordan's the GOAT. LeBron's not even close, but whatever. But these are actual numbers which speak for themselves here. No ifs and buts about it. No matter what James says, this movie is not worth seeing as a complete flop. And that's it. So if you guys saw it, let me see what you think. If you guys want to tell me what your opinion is on this in the comments, go ahead. I would really appreciate it. I would also appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Check out my videos. There's some interesting videos. I'm still learning, whatever. I appreciate all the appreciation if there is any to come. Subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, like the videos, and hit the notification bell if you like the videos and you want to find out when the new ones come out. And there's going to be a lot more coming out pretty soon. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.